Hey, good afternoon, guys. Tush coming at you Monday, April 3rd. And if you're just tuning in and you didn't catch my video from yesterday, this is not a 59 TR3A. I'm sorry, but this is a 68 Triumph TR250 project that we're just about to start. This is really kind of day one on the teardown of the car. Brought the car home yesterday, and we'll start tearing it down today. And good day as well if you're a baseball fan. Opening day, well, at least a Toronto fan. I know there were some games that opened yesterday, but Toronto and Baltimore are playing their season openers today, and it's tied 2-2 in the 8th or in the 9th now, so it's been a pretty good game so far. Anyway, we're going to get to work on this car. We're going to first thing we're going to do is we're going to put it up on some jack stands just to get it up a little higher at working level. And then we're going to tear into it. I think what we're going to do is probably try to tackle taking the taillights off the rear of this car first, followed probably by the front and rear bumpers. So I think that'll be the challenges for tonight, but we'll see how we progress. Alright guys, just a quick update for you. Just after 7 o'clock and we're making some progress. We've got the trunk or the boot lid off, and we've got the trunk backer plate off. This is kind of interesting. This is metal. And I don't believe I've ever seen a metal one. The 3s and the 6s are all fiberboard type, so I think that might be a custom piece, let's call it. So we've got the trunk hinges off as well, or the boot hinges, whatever you want to call it. And we're just about to start working on taking the rear lights out. I did take the spare out, and it doesn't look too bad in here. Some seam sealer and a little patch over here, so it'll be interesting to see when I dig all that stuff out what it looks like. But other than that, it doesn't look too bad in here. I did notice that, pointed this out before, but the car actually had air shocks, or it has air shocks in it. So there are the air valves on both sides. So that'll be interesting to see how those are mounted. I believe I can actually see a remnant of the shock coming through the bodywork, and there's a sort of a specialized mount there for them. So that might be interesting when we get out the when we get in the inside behind the gas tank here at some point. So we'll wait to see what that looks like, but that's it for now. We're going to tackle these taillights. And I guess I should point out at this point, although I've done quite a few restorations now, I still am pretty meticulous when it comes to taking cars apart. So that means bagging and dating and numbering every bag that I do. Even so far as if there's an actual sided piece to the car, I make sure that I actually tag the sides of the car. So for example, the hinges I believe are handed on these cars. I know they are on the TR3s. So I've labeled the passenger side and driver's side of these hinges just to make sure I don't mix those up either when I go to reinstall them. Although I'll probably use a new hinge, it's always good to have the old hinge for reference. So as mentioned, I record that. I put a bag number on it. I also record that in a journal at the end of the day, which I actually have over here. I'll show you that a little bit later on when I fill that out at the end of the day. Alright, that's it for now. Alright guys, just a quick update for you. Coming up to 8:15, the tail lights and reversing lights are now out of the car. The weather stripping's been removed from around the trunk. We have those all bagged and tagged up here, so all nicely stowed away. So I think what we're going to do now is we're going to attack that rear bumper. So we're going to get under there and see how rusty it looks and see if we can get those bolts off. Hopefully I don't drop it on my head. Alright guys, just coming up to 9:30 and we're going to call it a night. We've got everything bagged up, and we've got our first bin started over here on the floor. I'm not sure if I showed you that I got the bumper off the car. There it is over there. We've got our list here for April the 3rd with all our bag numbers recorded, and that's everything I've removed from the car so far. So anyway, we'll upload this tonight and we'll hopefully get back out here tomorrow. I think what we'll do tomorrow is maybe we'll try to drain the fuel out of that tank, and we'll get the tank out of there. We'll probably, if I can get less over tomorrow night, I think we'll try to take the hood off just to get that out of the way, and then we'll probably go from there. As far as the exhaust is concerned, it's a piece of junk. I mean, the guy that put this on there couldn't have even put it on symmetrically. So that's what bothers me the most about it. So that's going to be cut off with a reciprocating saw, so there won't be much left of that after I'm done with it. So that should be an easy removal. Just need some sharp blades. So that's it for tonight, guys. We'll get out here again, like I said, tomorrow night, and we will see you then. Have a good night. So I just popped back out to the garage for a few minutes because I realized that I'm missing some video footage that I took last night, and I just wanted to explain this carnage to you. You can obviously clearly see it in the videos prior to this one. So like I said, we came out last night, Les was over, and we knew that this part of the car was the worst area on the car, and we could obviously see some rust bubbling in this area, and obviously signs of really bad Bondo patching. So we decided that we weren't going to wait, and that we wanted to see just how bad everything was underneath all that bubbling and obvious Bondo. So we got out the tools, and we chipped off quite a bit of Bondo. Obviously not a well-prepared surface, let's say that. So this was done by a professional restoration shop, if you can believe that, if I go based on the notes that I have in the file that was given to me. So obviously some pretty thick Bondo in this area. We had some bubbling here, and you can see why it was bubbling here. You got some pretty bad rust pitting, and it was also bubbling here, and you can see they've actually brazed a patch in here. So I just thought I would share that with you. That's one thing I wanted to share with you. So you see basically all the Bondo that I pulled out of there. So I've just bagged that and just to keep it for fun. But anyway, so that's part A that I wanted to share with you. The other thing that I did before I actually started on the restoration of this is I did a compression test last night, just for fun. So you probably saw those numbers when I sort of focused in on my my to-do list, or my done list for tonight. So here's the compression numbers, 1 through 6 cylinders, and you can see they're pretty darn good. You know, compression numbers vary. I'm more looking for differentials between the cylinders, and I want to be within probably about 5%. So you can see that we're in pretty good shape. So maybe the engine's not as bad a shape as what I thought it was, but anyway, I just thought I'd share that with you. So, you know, compression on number 1 is 155, number 2 is 150, number 3 155, number 4 155, number 5 150, and number 6 145, which is the lowest. And I also did notice that there was actually one odd spark plug. That had an NGK plug in number 1, and then it had Bosch plugs 2 through 6. So that was kind of interesting as well. Anyway, I just wanted to share that with you, just in case you were wondering what all this carnage was back here in this corner. Alright guys, now we're going in.